Y'all ever had somebody test you so bad you had to sit down and ask yourself, is this really my life right now? Because let me tell you something. My wife, the woman I've been with for 12 years, the mother of my two beautiful children, the person I built a whole life with, she walked into our kitchen on a random Tuesday evening, looked me dead in my eyes, and said, I'm going on a vacation with my ex. Don't be jealous. Don't be jealous. Like that was supposed to make it okay. Like adding those three words at the end would somehow make me nod my head and say, oh yeah, baby, have fun. Nah, see what happened next. That's the story I'm about to tell you. And I promise you, by the time we're done here, you're going to understand why some tests in life ain't meant to be passed. They're meant to be failed, spectacularly. So grab your snacks, get comfortable, and let me take you through the wildest 72 hours of my entire marriage. This is the story of how my wife tried to gaslight me into accepting disrespect, and how I reminded her and her ex-Eckley who I am. Let's get into it. Now, before I get into what happened, let me paint the picture for you. My name is Marcus Thompson. I'm 41 years old, born and raised on the south side of Chicago, and I moved to Atlanta about 15 years ago for work. I'm a senior project manager at a tech consulting firm. Not bragging, but I do all right for myself. We own our home in Cascade Heights. Both our kids go to private school, and we take at least 2 family vacations a year. My wife, Simone, she's 40, absolutely gorgeous like, the kind of woman who still turns heads when we walk into a room. She works as a marketing director for a major corporation downtown. Smart, ambitious, got her MBA from Spelman. We met at a Morehouse-Spelman homecoming party back in 2013, and I knew right then she was the one. We got married in 2016. Big wedding, over 300 people. Her daddy walked her down the aisle crying. My mama was in the front row crying. I was up there crying. It was beautiful, y'all. Like something out of a movie. We got 2 kids. Marcus Jr., who we call MJ, he's 10. And our daughter Ava, she's 7. They're my whole world. Every decision I make, every move I make, is for them and for Simone. Now I'm telling you all this because I need you to understand something. I am not a man who takes his family for granted. I work hard, I come home, I'm present. I coach MJ's basketball team. I do Ava's hair on Sunday mornings when Simone wants to sleep in. I meal prep, I clean, I plan date nights. I'm not perfect, but I show up every single day. So when Simone hit me with this vacation nonsense, man, it wasn't just disrespectful. It was insulting. It was a Tuesday. I remember because Tuesdays are my days to cook dinner. I had just finished making my signature lemon pepper wings with mac and cheese and green beans, y'all. Know that meal that makes everybody shut up and eat? That one? like I was the one tripping. I closed the door behind me. I said, "Simone, talk to me. Help me understand what's going on here." She said, "Marcus, there's nothing to understand. Devin and I reconnected on LinkedIn a few months ago. We've been catching up, talking about old times, and his wife suggested we all take a trip together. That's it." It's innocent. A few months ago? You've been talking to this man for months, and you didn't think to mention it to me? Because I knew you'd react like this. You're so insecure sometimes. Insecure. She called me insecure. Yo, I'm 6'3", 215 pounds. Got a good job, take care of my family, and I'm confident in who I am. But the second you question something that don't sit right, suddenly you're insecure? I said, "Simone, this ain't about insecurity. This is about respect. You don't go on vacation with your ex without even running it by your husband first. That's not how marriage works. We're not doing anything wrong, Marcus. Then why didn't you tell me from the jump? Why am I just now hearing about this man after y'all been talking for months?" She didn't have an answer for that. She just stared at me. I said, "And you really sat there and said, 'Don't be jealous,' like that was supposed to make it okay?" She rolled her eyes. "I said that because I don't want you being all in your feelings over nothing." Nothing? So 12 years of marriage is nothing? The vows we took is nothing? You're being dramatic. Dramatic. I was being dramatic. I walked out the room before I said something I couldn't take back. That night I couldn't sleep. Simone was knocked out next to me, snoring like she ain't just dropped a bomb on our marriage. Meanwhile, I'm staring at the ceiling, replaying everything in my head. I kept thinking, what kind of man invites his ex-girlfriend on vacation? What kind of woman accepts? And what kind of wife thinks her husband should just be cool with it? Something wasn't adding up, so I did what any man would do. I started digging. Now, I'm not proud of this, but I went through Simone's phone while she was in the shower the next morning. I know, invasion of privacy, breach of trust, all that. But my gut was screaming at me. And my gut is never wrong. I opened her messages, and there it was, a whole thread with Devin. The first message was from 3 months ago. 3 months. And it wasn't just casual, "Hey, how you been?" type stuff. These messages were familiar, too familiar. "Devin, I was just thinking about that time we drove to Myrtle Beach and got caught in that rainstorm. You remember that?" "Simone, oh my God, yes. We were so dumb back then." "Devin, best weekend of my life, though. Real talk." "Simone, stop it, LO. Those days are long gone." "Devin, are they though?" "Y'all, are they though?" I scrolled further. More messages. Inside jokes. Memories. Compliments. "Devin, saw your post on IG. You still look exactly the same. Aging backwards. Simone, you're sweet. How's Kaisha?" "Devin, she's good, busy with work. You know how it is." That right there. You know how it is. That's code. That's the kind of thing you say when you're bonding over something. When you're creating a shared understanding. I kept scrolling. Then I saw the message that made my blood run cold. "Devin, so Cancun is definitely happening. I already booked the resort, 2 rooms, ocean view. It's gonna be just like old times. Just like old times. Simone, I'm so excited. I haven't had a real vacation in forever. Devin, Marcus cool with it?" Simone, he will be. He will be. Not he is. He will be. Like she was planning to convince me, manipulate me into accepting it. I took screenshots of everything, sent them to myself, deleted the sent messages from her phone. Then I put her phone back exactly where I found it. When Simone came out the bathroom, I was sitting on the bed, calm as could be. She said, "You good?" I said, "Yeah, I'm good." But I wasn't good. I was plotting. Every man needs a counsel, a group of brothers who will tell you the truth even when it hurts. My counsel consists of 3 people. My older brother Darnell, my best friend since high school Jerome, and my cousin Terrence, who's been married for 20 years and has seen it all. That afternoon, I called an emergency meeting. We met up at Jerome's barber shop after hours. Just us, no customers, no distractions. I laid it all out, told them everything, showed them the screenshots. Darnell spoke first. He's always been the hothead of the group. He said, "Bro, you need to shut this down right now. Tell her she's not going, period." Jerome shook his head. "Nah, man. You can't tell a grown woman what to do. That's only gonna make it worse. You gotta be strategic." Terrence, the wise elder, leaned back in his chair and said, "Marcus, let me ask you something. Do you think she's cheating on you?" I sat with that question for a minute. Honestly, I don't know, but I know she's doing something she shouldn't be doing. And I know she's lying to me about it. Terrence nodded. "Then here's what you do. You let her go on this trip." All 3 of us looked at him like he was crazy. He held up his hand. "Hear me out. You let her go. But while she's gone, you do your homework. You figure out exactly what's going on, and you prepare yourself for whatever comes next. Because right now, you don't have all the facts. You just got suspicions. But if she goes on this trip and something happens, she can't deny it no more." Darnell said, "Man, that's risky. What if she really does cheat?" Terrence said, "Then at least he'll know, and he can make his decision from there." Jerome said, "I don't know. That's a lot of pain to put yourself through just to prove a point." I said, "Nah, Terrence is right. I need to know the truth. And if I try to stop her from going, she's just gonna resent me. She's gonna say I'm controlling. She's gonna make me the villain. But if I let her go and she shows me who she really is, then I can move accordingly." That night I went home with a plan. When I got home that night, Simone was in the living room watching TV. The kids were already in bed. I sat down next to her. I took a deep breath, and I put on the performance of a lifetime. I said, "Baby, I've been thinking about what you said. About the trip." She muted the TV and turned to me, eyebrows raised. "Yeah? And you're right. I was tripping. You and Devin are just friends. Y'all got history, but that's all it is. History, I trust you." Y'all should have seen the look on her face. Pure relief. She smiled so big I almost felt bad. She said, "Marcus, thank you. I knew you'd come around. I really need this, baby. Work has been killing me." I nodded. "I know. You deserve a break. When you're leaving?" "Next month. The 5th, 10th through the 22nd. A whole week." She was planning to be gone for a whole week. I said, "That's what's up. Y'all staying at a resort?" "Yeah. Devin booked this really nice place, all inclusive, right on the beach." "Cool, cool. And Kaisha's going too, right? Devin's wife?" "Yep, she's super sweet. I think y'all would actually get along." I smiled. "Maybe we can all hang out when y'all get back." "That would be nice." She leaned over and kissed me. "And y'all," I kissed her back. because I needed her to believe that everything was fine. That night, while she slept, I started planning my next move. The next day, I did something I never thought I'd do. I hired a private investigator. His name was Carl. Mid-50s, ex-cop, ran his own investigation firm in Buckhead. I found him through a referral from Terrence. I met him at a coffee shop downtown. I showed him the screenshots, explained the situation, and asked him what he could do. Carl said, "Mr. Thompson, I've been doing this for 23 years, and I can tell you right now, based on what you're showing me, your wife is at minimum emotionally cheating. Whether it's physical yet, I can't say, but the intent is there." I said, "Can you follow her on the trip?" He nodded. "I can have someone down there, but it's going to cost you. International surveillance isn't cheap. I don't care about the cost. I need to know the truth," he said. "Then I'll get it for you. But Mr. Thompson, be prepared, because once you know, you can't unknow. You understand?" I understood, and I was ready. The next few weeks were torture. Simone was walking around the house all happy, humming songs, packing her bags, texting Devin about the trip. Meanwhile, I'm pretending like everything is fine, like I'm not dying inside. 2 days before she was supposed to leave, she came to me with a request. She said, "Baby, I need a favor." "What's up? Can you take me to the airport? My flight leaves at 6 in the morning. 6 in the morning. "Of course." I said, "Yeah, I got you." She kissed me on the cheek. "You're the best." The night before she left, I laid in bed next to her, watching her sleep. I thought about all the years we'd been together, the good times, the bad times, the promises we made to each other. And I wondered if this was the end. Goodbye. The next morning I drove Simone to the airport. The kids were still asleep, so it was just me and her. On the drive, she was chatty, talking about how excited she was, how much she needed this, how she couldn't wait to relax. I just nodded and drove. When we got to the airport, I helped her with her bags. She hugged me tight and said, "I'm gonna miss you." I said, "Miss you too." She looked me in the eyes. "You trust me, right?" I said, "Of course I do." She smiled. "Good, because I love you, Marcus. You know that, right?" I said, "I know." She kissed me one more time. Then she walked into the airport, pulling her suitcase behind her. And I drove home, knowing that nothing would ever be the same. Carl's investigator, a woman named Maria, who specialized in international cases, checked into the same resort as Simone and Devin. She sent me updates every few hours. Day 1, everything seemed normal. Simone and Devin checked into separate rooms. Kaisha, Devin's wife, was nowhere to be found. I texted Carl, "Where's the wife?" He called me. "Mr. Thompson, we looked into it. Kaisha didn't book a flight. We checked the resort reservations. There's only 2 rooms booked under Devin Patterson's name." My heart dropped. "So it's just Simone and Devin?" "That's correct." I felt sick. She lied. She told me Kaisha was coming, and she lied straight to my face. Maria sent me photos, Simone and Devin at the pool. Devin rubbing sunscreen on Simone's back. Simone laughing at something he said. That night, they had dinner together. Just the 2 of them. Candlelit table. Wine. The whole setup. After dinner, Maria followed them to the beach. They walked along the shore, barefoot, holding hands. Holding hands. I was at home, putting the kids to bed, while my wife was in Mexico holding hands with her ex. Day 2 is when everything fell apart. Maria sent me a message. You need to see this. She sent me a video. In the video, Simone and Devin were in the resort's hot tub. It was late at night. They were alone, and they were kissing. Not a peck, not a friendly kiss. A real, passionate, I still have feelings for you type of kiss. I watched that video 10 times, and each time it felt like somebody was ripping my chest open. I called Carl. I said, I need everything. Photos, videos, timestamps, everything. He said, you got it. That night I didn't sleep. I just sat in the living room, staring at my phone, waiting for more updates. Maria sent me more photos. Simone and Devin going into his room together. Simone leaving his room 4 hours later. 4 hours. I won't tell y'all what I was thinking during those 4 hours, but I'm sure you can imagine. On day 3, I made a decision. I wasn't going to wait for her to come home. I wasn't going to sit around and let her think she got away with it. I called my lawyer. His name is Stephen Braithwaite, one of the best divorce attorneys in Atlanta. I laid out everything, the messages, the lies, the photos, the videos. He said, Marcus, you got a strong case. If you want to file for divorce, we can start the paperwork today. I said, start it. Next, I called my bank. I moved half of our savings into a separate account, protected my assets, made sure she couldn't clean me out. Then I called a locksmith, had him come change the locks on the house. I wasn't playing games anymore. The call. On day 4 of her trip, Simone called me. FaceTime. I answered. She was on the beach, smiling, looking all happy and refreshed. She said, Hey, baby, I miss you. I said, Yeah? Yeah, this trip has been amazing. I feel so relaxed. I bet you do. She didn't catch the tone. She said, How are the kids? They're good. Missing their mama. Oh, tell them I miss them too. I'll bring them back souvenirs. I said, Simone, let me ask you something. What's up? Where's Kaisha? She paused, just for a second. But I caught it. She said, Oh, she couldn't make it. Last-minute work thing. So it's just you and Devin? Yeah, but it's fine. We're just hanging out. It's all good. Y'all sharing a room? What? No, Marcus. Why would you ask me that? Just curious. She laughed, but it sounded forced. Baby, you're being paranoid again. Everything's fine. I said, All right. Well, enjoy the rest of your trip. I will. Love you. Yeah. I hung up. She didn't say anything else, but I knew. She knew something was off. Simone's flight landed on a Saturday afternoon. I didn't pick her up from the airport. I told her I had to take Jay to a basketball game. She took an Uber home. When she walked in the house, her key didn't work. She called me. Marcus, why doesn't my key work? I said, I changed the locks. You what? Why would you do that? Come inside. We need to talk. I opened the door. She walked in, confusedriging her suitcase behind her. The kids weren't home. I'd sent them to stay with my mama for the weekend. Simone said, Marcus, what's going on? I said, sit down. She sat down on the couch. I sat across from her in the armchair. I pulled out my phone. I pulled up the photos, the videos, everything. I said, You want to tell me about your trip? Her face went pale. She said, What is that? That's you and Devin in Cancun, kissing, holding hands. going into his room at midnight and not coming out until 4 in the morning. She started shaking her head. Marcus, that's not... Don't lie to me, Simone. Don't you dare lie to me right now. Tears started rolling down her face. It's not what it looks like. Then what is it? Because it looks like you went on vacation with your ex-boyfriend, lied to me about his wife being there, and cheated on me. I didn't cheat. You kissed him. It was a mistake. We were drunk. And going to his room for 4 hours, was that a mistake too? She put her head in her hands. She was crying hard now. Marcus, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't know what I was thinking. I said, you know what the crazy part is? I gave you a chance. I could have stopped you from going, but I wanted to see if you'd do the right thing. And you didn't. She looked up at me, mascara running down her face. What are you saying? I handed her an envelope. Divorce papers? Sign them. The breakdown. Simone lost it. She fell to her knees, begging, pleading. Marcus, please, please don't do this. I made a mistake. It meant nothing. I love you. I love our family. I said, you should have thought about that before you got on that plane. I'll do anything. I'll go to therapy. I'll cut Devin off completely. I'll do whatever you want. It's too late, Simone. She crawled over to me, grabbing my legs. Marcus, please, think about the kids. Think about everything we built. That part hurt, because she was right. We did build something, a whole life, and she destroyed it. But I stood my ground. I said the kids will be fine. They got 2 parents who love them. But you and me? We're done. She sat there on the floor, crying, shaking, broken. And for the first time in weeks, I felt like I could breathe. The divorce took 6 months. It was messy. Simone fought me on everything: custody, money, the house. But I had evidence, and her lawyer knew it. In the end, we got joint custody of the kids. I kept the house. She moved into an apartment in Midtown. Devin, his wife Kaiser, found out about what happened. She divorced him too. Turns out he'd been cheating on her for years. Simone wasn't the first. Simone tried to make it work with Devin after everything settled, but it didn't last. Turns out when you build a relationship on lies and betrayal, it don't have a strong foundation. Last I heard, she's single, still working downtown, still trying to figure out her life. Me? I'm doing better than I ever thought I would. I got my kids, I got my peace, I got my dignity. I started dating again about a year after the divorce. Met a woman named Nicole at a charity event. She's a pediatric nurse, kind, honest, no games. We're taking it slow, but I'm happy. Really happy, Dot. So what's the lesson in all this? Trust your gut. If something feels wrong, it probably is. Don't let nobody gaslight you into accepting disrespect. Not your spouse, not your partner, not nobody. And most importantly, know your worth. Because the moment you accept less than you deserve, you teach people how to treat you. Simone tested me. She thought I'd be so afraid of losing her that I'd accept anything. But I didn't. I stood up. I protected myself. I protected my kids. And you know what? I don't regret it. Not for 1 second, Dot. To anybody listening to this who's going through something similar, I see you. I feel you. And I want you to know that it gets better. It might not feel like it right now. It might feel like your whole world is falling apart. But I promise you, on the other side of that pain is peace. You deserve someone who respects you, someone who honors your commitment, someone who wouldn't even think about putting you in a situation like that. And if they can't give you that, let them go. Because at the end of the day, you can't make somebody love you the way you deserve to be loved. But you can love yourself enough to walk away. And that's exactly what I did. Thank you for listening to my story. If it helped you, share it with somebody who needs to hear it. Remember, don't be anybody's option. Be somebody's priority. Or be your own. Peace and blessings, y'all.